What's going on, family? This is Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. We're going to take a look at an outstanding fighter from the 1920s and 30s, Charles Bud Thiele. Let's take a look at his career. Charles Bud Thiele was born in Thiele, Indiana, on July 5th, 1903, and grew up in a sector where youngsters had to fight for their rights. He therefore turned to boxing at an early age, and in 1920, he turned to professional boxing. 3 years later, he became recognized as a headliner. In 1925, he whipped Jimmy McLaurin and lost on a foul to him. He was a stiff right-hand puncher. In 1924, he knocked out Frankie Jerome in New York, and Frankie died after the fight. 2 years later, he killed another fighter in Milwaukee. Clever Cincio died following 10 rounds bout with Bud Thiele. In 1931, after being stopped in 2 rounds by Benny Bass was an outstanding fighter himself, and losing in 8 to Lou Macy, Thiele hung up the gloves, but became a manager and promoter. He died in Los Angeles, California on March 9th, 1962. Now, born July 5th, 1903, he was 5 foot 6 inches and was managed by Eddie Long. 1920, he knocked out Walter Goring in 3 rounds. Kid Shepard in 3 rounds, Dutch Davison in 3 rounds, Jack Edwards in 2 rounds, Dave Templington in 5 rounds, Jimmy Burns in 8 rounds, Bruce Mickles in 4 rounds and 3 rounds, fought him twice, Young Dempsey in 2 rounds, no decisions, second time, Dave Templington in 4 rounds, Artie Armstrong in 8 rounds and 10 rounds, fought him twice, Whitey Marat, and he knocked him out in 6 rounds. Now that was in 1920. In 1921, these were the knockouts he had that year. Pasty Brennan, 1 round. Sully Epstein, 9 rounds, and he won 1. Herbie Scaffer in 8 rounds and a draw. Herbie Scaffer, 10 rounds and a no decision. Battling Chick, 12 rounds. Whitey Maratti, 10 rounds. Frankie Mason, 10 rounds. Phil O'Dowd, 10 rounds. Eddie O'Dowd, 10 rounds. Battling Chick, 10 rounds. Chick Allman, 10 rounds. Harold Smith, 8 rounds. Stanley Everett, 10 rounds. And Harold Smith, 10 rounds. I'm just going to scan through his career. 1922, Sully Epstein killed him in 1. George Corbett killed him in 3. Ollie O'Neill, no decision. Harold Smith, no decision. Jimmy Kelly, he was knocked out in 6 rounds. Herb Scaffer, no decision. Jimmy Kelly, no decision. Frankie Henke killed him in 7 rounds. And he would continue with no decisions. Paul Moore, no decision. Very good fighter, Paul Moore. 1923, Benny Vogel, Indianapolis, killed him in 1. Now let me just say this. Vinny Vogel was an outstanding Jewish fighter. I don't know what happened in that fight, other than the fact that he was knocked out in 1 round, but he was an outstanding fighter. I can say that about him. January 8th, Jimmy Kelly, no decision. Paul Moore, no decision. Paul Moore again, no decision. Frankie Gennaro, very good fighter, no decision. John Shepard, Indianapolis, no decision. Harry Gordon, no decision. And this goes on. Pancho Villa, September 8th, Chicago, no decision. We talked about him yesterday. Charlie Rosenberg, very good Jewish fighter, New York City. He defeated him in 12 rounds. It was a great win. Ray Moore, no decision. 1924. He only lost to Eddie O'Dowd. That was in 10 rounds. The rest of the fights he won, or no decision. Pancho Villa, June 10th, fought him again, New York. He lost in 12 rounds. Pancho Villa was a very good fighter. We talked about him yesterday. Tommy Ryan, August 1st, Philadelphia, defeated him in 10 rounds. Very good wins here. 1925. Midget Smith. This was in April 20th. No decision. And 10. Abe Goldstein defeated him in 10 rounds. Jimmy McLaurin defeated him in 10 rounds. McLaurin was a welterweight champion. Went back and forth with Barney Ross. He stopped Benny Leonard's comeback. Dynamite Murphy defeated him in 10 rounds. Bobby Wargas, no decision in 10 rounds. Bushy Graham, New York City, lost in 12. Doc Snell, 10-round victory. Jimmy McLaurin again, lost on a foul. Thiele broke his left hand in the 3rd round. 1926, January 12th, Jimmy McLaurin again. He defeated him in 10 rounds. Outstanding. Beautiful. Dixie LaHood, Los Angeles, killed him in 8 rounds. 1927, Jack Phillips, New York City, killed him in 2 rounds. February 15th, Midget Smith, Indianapolis, no decision, 10 rounds. February 24th, Eddie Shea, very good fighter, Chicago, Illinois, 10-round victory. March 26th, Tony Canzoneri, this was for a championship bout. Chicago, killed him in 5 rounds. May 3rd, Abe Goldstein, Chicago, defeated him in 10 rounds. June 1st, Chick Shuggs, very good African-American fighter, Los Angeles, killed him in 5 rounds. June 24th, Tony Canzoneri, Chicago, defeated him in 10 rounds. September 1st, Midget Don Smith, killed him in 1 round. November 8th, Johnny Farr, Los Angeles, 10-round victory. December 30th, Tony Canzoneri, New York City, lost 10 rounds for the vacant NBA bantamweight title. 1928, January 10th, Babe Ruth, Chicago, defeated him in 10 rounds. Great victories here. Great victories. August 21st, Thiele vacated his NBA bantamweight title. In 1929, trying to give you notable names here. February 8th, Al Singer, New York City, lost on a foul in 4. Fought him again. March 15th, Al Singer, New York City, lost in 10 rounds. June 11th, Goldie Hess, very good fighter, Los Angeles, 10-round draw. July 22nd, Andy Martin, Boston, lost in 10. October 8th, Earl Mastro, another good fighter, Chicago, draw in 10. November 15th, Santiago Zorilla, Chicago, defeated him in 10 rounds. December 27th, Earl Mastro, Chicago, he was knocked out in 9 rounds. 1930, March 20th, Bat Ballerino, very good fighter, former champion. Detroit, won in 10 rounds. April 21st, Fidel LaBarber, another flyweight champion, Chicago, lost in 10 rounds. July 1st, Earl Mastro, Detroit, lost in 10. I don't know why my camera keeps fading in and out. August 18th, Bat Ballerino, Hartford, Connecticut, lost in 10. November 28th, Fidel LaBarber, New York City, lost in 10. 1931, January 13th, Joe Lucas, Indianapolis, he won in 10. February 16th, Benny Bass, Philadelphia, KO'd in 2 rounds. He was stopped in 2 rounds. March 16th, Lou Macy, Philadelphia, lost under disqualification in 8, and he retired to become a manager and a promoter in boxing. So outstanding career by Charles Bud Thiele. Very good fighter. Salute to him. I want to enter Charles Bud Thiele in the Museum of the Fisticuffs series. The Museum of Fisticuffs series goes to Charles Bud Thiele. Salute to him.